What if other field bosses joined the fight with Calamity Ganon? Could we use them to hurt the Scourge of Hyrule? A while ago, we fought Calamity Ganon with only Cuckoos, and it was amazing watching the birds swarm the Mad Lad. But in today's video, we're taking the Calamity Ganon fight and experimenting a little bit. We're going to add a Hinox, a Guardian, a Stone Talus, and a Molduga. Our goal is not to defeat these enemies, but more so see how they affect the final fight. The Zelda science is certainly an important study, as you'll see by the very critical research in this video, so I hope you enjoy this bizarre showcase. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom have such vibrant worlds, and being able to appreciate those worlds in a fully immersive way only amplifies that experience. Recently, I partnered with VITURE, and they sent me out a set of their VITURE One XR glasses, along with their mobile dock, which allows you to basically manifest what looks like a 120-inch display right in front of your eyes. I know that sounds a bit odd conceptually, but it's so surprisingly awesome. These extended reality glasses not only allow you to play all your favorite games in 1080p 60 frames per second on the big screen anywhere on the go, but with their mobile dock you can plug in a friend and both of you can play together. Super Smash Bros. Is always better on a big screen, and the VITURE One XR glasses certainly deliver that experience. It's a bit hard to show you what I'm seeing exactly, but focusing my camera helps show a little bit. The screen is super clear, and it didn't hurt my eyes at all. The mobile dock also extends the battery life of your Switch and Steam Deck by adding supplemental power. The VITURE One XR glasses can be dialed in to help match your unique vision requirements, alongside adjustable opacity and brightness options. Working hand in hand with Harman, the glasses provide clear audio quality for you, but offer the privacy of sounding quiet to everyone else around you. So whether you want to play some co-op games with a friend, have a mobile cinema at your fingertips, or are just looking for the ultimate ocular gaming setup, the VITURE One XR glasses have you covered. To pick up your own set, you can click my link in the description below and use my code SwankyBox to get 10% off your entire order. I was super happy when VITURE reached out, and a big thanks to them for sponsoring this video and supporting me as a creator. I'll certainly be playing Tears of the Kingdom with these bad boys. So, let's talk about why adding bosses to Ganon's room is a massive pain in the butt. So some of you may remember, back when I made that Cuckoos video, that we had some problems when trying to put Cuckoos in Calamity Ganon's room. And this problem resurfaced when trying to attempt to add bosses to that same room. So this room has a passive effect that causes things to be non-aggressive down here. And on top of that, it also despawns things. So if I skipped the intro cutscene for Calamity Ganon and came down here and spawned in all these bosses, well, they are chasing me, and you can see they are down here, but the second we trigger that cutscene, they all unload. Now, this is relative to spawning them in while the game is running and not actually hard modding them into this room. But even with hard modding, we had to make a change to this room, and basically we had to redo the collision so that it did not classify as a safe space. When trying this myself, it was either I had a bunch of enemies throwing a surprise party for Calamity Ganon without Calamity Ganon himself, or I just had the normal Calamity Ganon boss fight. And without making the mod changes, similar to my Cuckoo adventure from a while back, this would be a non-aggressive area, so some bosses wouldn't try to hurt us. It would be like having a guardian in the middle of a town. It just sits there, and all the kids can take turns taking a ride. No deadly lasers here, just mutual, non-violent respect between a killer robot and a centennial man. Anyways, all that was fixed, and now we can try putting bosses into this room. So starting off, we're gonna load in the Hinox. The Hinox just kind of roams around trying to stomp on us, and Calamity Ganon cannot actually hurt the Hinox. So all of Calamity Ganon's attacks just go straight through this monster, and the Hinox itself does not take any damage. And the only really exciting thing a Hinox does, especially the black variant, is that it can dig up these bomb barrels, but even then, Calamity Ganon cannot be hurt by them. The explosion doesn't affect Ganon. However, Ganon can get hurt by the Hinox's ground slam attack, and it actually does a ton of damage to Ganon. It hits 3 times for about 72 damage a strike, and you can see that Ganon drops a couple hundred health from this. This was pretty surprising. So moving on from the Hinox to something that I like a lot more, which is the Stone Talus. I was very excited about the Stone Talus because this enemy changes the environment in multiple ways. For one, it lobs these giant rocks at you, and these rocks explode and cause damage to the area. And two, the Stone Talus itself is actually like moving ground. You can climb on it, and you can walk on it, and other characters and enemies get affected by the collision of this monster. And so Calamity Ganon went up on the wall, and as he's shooting down those like lightning rods, he ends up hitting himself with his own lightning, and he falls to the ground. And as you can see, he took damage from that. But while like this, we can actually have the stone talus lava rock right at Calamity Ganon's head. And I was excited for this until I saw how much damage it did. It did a whopping 2 damage for that strike. Only 2 damage. It might as well have been Astral Spiff with a spring-loaded hammer. I expected it to do a lot more damage, so I was very surprised to see it do so little. Especially when it does so much more damage to Link when we get hit by it. Not long after this, Ganon did climb on top of the talus, and this created a very interesting situation. It was a very bizarre sight, but fighting Ganon while airborne would have been very terrible. But after getting to the wall, he did resume his normal functions. Now, this next field boss, or I don't know if it's even considered a field boss, but the Guardians. They're very powerful, so I wanted to load in a Guardian down by Ganon and see if the lasers could hurt Ganon. Now, Ganon himself also can shoot Guardian lasers, but no matter what I did with this Guardian down here, the lasers that it shot would not hurt Calamity Ganon. And furthermore, the Guardian itself would not shoot Calamity Ganon. They will not fire if Ganon is in the way. This Guardian's either very polite, or the Calamity-possessed Guardian knows not to shoot Daddy. Now, I was a bit disappointed because I was really hoping we could have a laser brawl between these two foes, but unfortunately, it did not take place. Calamity Ganon also could not hurt the Guardian, which meant the Guardian was never aggressive towards Calamity Ganon. Sometimes Guardians will become aggressive towards other things that attack it, like a stone talus, but because Calamity Ganon cannot hurt the Guardian, this could not occur. So now we're going to move on to the final boss, which is the Molduga, and good grief, this was extremely messed up. So a while ago, I made a video about how Calamity Ganon escaped this room and retreated from Link, and all of that is due to the effects of a Molduga. So before that video, I was messing around with spawning bosses, and there was a Molduga out in Hyrule Castle, and the effects of the Molduga is actually what caused all that to transpire. So I am not entirely sure why this happens, but when a Molduga is present and Calamity Ganon spawns in, well, the Molduga has this anti-gravity effect. Everything on the map begins to slowly rise up and float. This includes Calamity Ganon, Link, the objects in the room, and other enemies like this Black Hinox that I spawned in as well. It is very, very strange, and it also forces Link to be in a first-person view, and the Molduga itself spawns in beneath the floor, but because we're all floating above it, the Molduga really doesn't have time to jump up and attack us. This is because this anti-gravity effect causes us to float up and out of the Molduga's attack range. Sometimes when we hit the ceiling, we will fall back down, but as soon as we touch the ground, we will begin to rise up again. Eventually, this will force Calamity Ganon to rise up that center column, that pit we fell down, and then he will unload when he gets too far away from Link. So the Molduga effect is very, very strange, and I do not know why it causes this flooding effect, but it's definitely one of the most bizarre combinations I have seen in Breath of the Wild. So while some of these bosses were disappointing, seeing the effects of the Stone Talus and also the Molduga was kind of cool. So I hope you enjoyed this quick experiment, and I'll see you in Tears of the Kingdom very, very soon. Thanks for watching, and cheers!